There's a riddle on the screen and a bop in the beat. Crystal's got a theory and she's bringing the heat. With a playlist rolling and a case to crack, she's digging through the weird and she ain't looking back. Crystal's crime and music. Hey, hey, hey. Word little whispers and a beat that slays. She's grooving through the rumors, dancing through the doubt. Hop on the stream and help her figure it out. She's got headphones on and snacks in hand. She's sleuthing in slippers, ain't it grand? Crimes and chords, it's a curious mix, but she'll remix that mystery just for kicks. Crystal's crime and music, let's roll. Talking strange old stories with a heart and soul. From cryptic clues to a disco track, she's chasing down weirdness and never looks back. She don't solve crimes, just talks and vibes with a keyboard click and detective drive. She's got music moods and wild ideas and a soft spot for victims through the years. Is that a ghost? Or just bad Wi-Fi? Did that dude lie? Or is it all a sigh? Whatever the twist, Crystal's on the screen with a snack, a song, and a mystery meme. So grab your tea and your favorite chair. She's cracking up theories out of thin air. One part groove, one part hum. It's Crystal's show, let's have some fun. Crystal's crime and music, tune it loud, where the silly gets spooky and the beats are proud. She's laughing, guessing, and spilling the tea. Come vibe with the queen of crime and melody.
Truth, guys, today we're going to go over the rest of, well, at least 2 more parts of Jody Sue's conversation with me. But I really wanted to make this kind of like a chill stream. My friend's actually going to sit in a room with me today for my live. So we're going to make this a little fun, but I'm going to show you some of the things. Yesterday, I wanted to start with going over, you have 1.8 million views. Good job, Michael. It took me, now 3 years to get my 2,000 subs back. I did get 4,000 subs in 4 months, and then Benny Keys took me down. We all know how that went with lawsuits and all kinds of shit. I had to rebuild my channel. I'm only at 2,600, so you did an amazing job. I hope to see your channel flourish, and I don't even think I'm subscribed, so I will. Okay, so what we're going to do is part 2. I went over part 1 and I went over part 3, but I didn't go over part 2 of the interview that Hatfield and McCoy showed. So I was watching Jody Sue last night and she was going over it, and I had some thoughts on her thoughts. However, I'm not going to cover her yet. I think it's best that I just cover the interview and give my thoughts before we go through Jody Sue's thoughts. But because Jody Sue is a neighbor and has been so intertwined in the case so closely up front, I think it's important that tomorrow I come on, or later tonight maybe, and we talk about Jody Sue, what she has to say about these new people coming up on the property. The reason I think that's important is because Jody Sue was there and she's the first ones to accuse the psychics, right? So we get to see how that goes. Hey, little Dev, it's been forever. I just mentioned you yesterday. I hope you're good. I've been wondering where you're at. Okay, so let's give this a listen.
Finished.
I'm sorry to make her upset. I can understand her frustration, but again, if we don't get, as of right now, it's died down. This case is summer. That's why we haven't, because you were always getting so much attention, and we let it go because how much do you need? But now, since everything's died down and faded away, it needs to be brought back to light again, just to let people see that, hey, this girl's still missing.
Oh no, I hope it ain't nothing serious, little Dove. Are you okay? Do you feel better now? I hope. I really have missed you.
Right.
We still need help, and you're
Yeah.
still wanting people's help,
Yeah.
and I'm sure she is too. But
Well,
we've got to get the word.
It's my theory for Sebastian and that other girl that come up missing too. I can't remember her name right off the get go. The one that Kingsport. What was her name? I can't.
I don't remember that.
But anyway, I think all these kids. I think all these. I think, like I said, DCS was the only ones in our lives. You know, and for them to come up here 24 hours prior and say, oh, everything's hunky dory, we're going to close the case, which is bullshit because they don't just close cases.
Yeah.
So we thought everything was just fine, but then 24 hours after they left, she come up missing.
That's okay. Can we, if you don't care, just because I'm not familiar with the case, and we can stop this anytime you want.
No,
But
you're fine.
you come home from work. She called and said she's missing. She was missing. She didn't get out of bed that morning. When she saw her go to school and she didn't come
Well,
home.
her mother had a camper there in park, and so her and her mother, and plus my boys was here, and they was up here on their phones.
Now
the
hold on,
boys.
her and her mother.
Yeah, Candace's mother was here.
This Candace's mother.
Yeah, grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, my three boys was up here on their phones, of course. Summer wanted to go downstairs and play with toys, and she tried to get the boys to go downstairs and play with toys with her, but they didn't want to. They wanted to sit up here on their phones, and so she went down there by herself, and that's the last she was seen.
And how old are the boys?
Well, I don't know.
Did he just change the story for the boys? So we were always told with Candace telling Chris McDonough they were sitting here with their heads glued to the TV. Hi, CM. Didn't he just say they were sitting there glued to their phones?
Boys did. Children.
No, not the boys. They were kids. The story is, Boo, I'm going to explain this to my friend. The little girl walked in. They went out early in the day, 8:30 in the morning, to take Grandma to the doctors. They drop Grandma off at the doctors, go pick 14-year-old Hunter up. They take Hunter, they go back, pick Grandma up. They take Hunter to a horse pond. It's really just like down the Horde, like the river, you know? So they go swimming in this river. She comes home. Her story is her and the boys jump out. They carry bags from the car to the house. She goes in, has some laundry. Grandma has a knee brace on her knee from the hospital. She comes out. I'm going to show him the property, guys.
You already showed me that.
Did I? So she comes out and she's sitting on her step. She needs, oh no, Summer came out first. They were out there first. She needed help with her knee brace. Then they planted flowers. I'm not exactly sure. It was actually cactuses. So Summer wants to go in the house. Candace H walks her to the door, lets her in the house, tells the boys to watch her. Their heads are glued to the TV. She goes underneath that bar thing I showed you. Went down to the basement, and then she disappears. But Mom went back outside, was still outside, and you could see the basement door where Summer went. You could see the path going down. So how does the baby disappear?
I think she died on accident. No, no.
You think it was an accident cover-up? A lot of people have that theory.
There's all that planning. We did flowers. We did this. We did that. We don't do much about anything. One day I would come back from the store swimming. Like, oh, we went swimming in the hospital. That's too many fucking stories.
Here, we're gonna catch my friend up before we watch this. We're gonna go to Chris McDonough's interview on the interview room.
Sounds like she had an accidental death and buried the body.
See, there's so much more that happened after this. Like with that 501c3 with Roxanne DeFelice I was telling you about. Like they brought this agency down into Tennessee, and they were down there collecting tons and tons of money. Like it was a lot. But hold on, let me let you watch this quickly. Okay, we want. We'll start here. This is where they were.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
And I respect that. I totally respect that. Okay.
I don't trust nobody after Hunter and Allie's ripping apart.
Well, and that's why I want to talk to you.
I can't trust nobody.
I know, and that's why I wanted to speak with you. And I told you that, you know, yesterday on the phone. And you'll notice I mentioned yesterday that what you said. I'm not going to lie to anybody or for anybody, okay? But I think your side of the story needs to be told. That because people are throwing so much stuff around them, and then you know more than I do in relationship to how this doggone social media works. Okay, yeah. There's two sides to every story, Candace. You know that, and I know that. Okay. We've both been around the block a couple of times. I seen Mom Patrol because I know that was her favorite.
Yeah, I just got it today. You know,
that's awesome. Where did you find that?
Actually, a woman made it for me.
Really? Because of her Puppy Patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paw Patrol, and she was into
My Little Ponies and Frozen.
And then she finally got princesses.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want you to be comfortable with her. We talk. Okay. So maybe I can ask you a question. A lot of people are throwing this under the bus at the park over there.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it's the closest place, but I don't know if you feel comfortable going back over.
I won't go back to that park after all the lies have been made.
Well, and you know, here's some of the plus side of that. Okay. You and I can actually walk there, and you can say, I was standing here. Everybody's saying I was standing over there. That ain't where I was. I was right here, and this is the reason why. So what we can do is tell the truth.
Wow.
Okay. And that takes all the stuff, and it makes it go away for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That's my thinking. But you're the mom of this missing baby. Okay. I will tell you, I lost a son in 2003. He was 20 years old. Okay. I know what it feels like to have that gap out there. Okay. All I'm looking for is the truth and to help.
I ain't got nothing to do.
I know, but and I really help you. I talk to them because they have, you know, their side of the story. Okay. I heard some things in there that went, seriously, and you notice I put them all up. Okay, I'm not one to say,
yeah, watch
hey,
a couple of them.
Okay, hey, y'all didn't hear this. Okay, no, they did hear it.
Boo says it's giving him a headache. He can't stand when people talk, and he likes movies, so he's leaving the room. But he thinks it was an accidental. We're gonna go back. We're watching SummerSlam, WWE. It keeps coming up. Hunter's recollection of the time spent at grocery to me is more accurate than what Candace stated. I agree. And the thing that bothered me most is when they were standing at the swimming hole and Candace was like, no, Hunter's wrong. And she had to drill it into Chris. This is what we did. This is the timeline. Did it really matter what order they went in? Why would she do that? Why would she try to refute Hunter's timeline? Candace is very... All right, let's go back to what I wanted to cover since my friend don't like the talking.
Yeah, it's just, you know, all three of them were in school. But
Sure. And that's the last time anybody seen her when she went downstairs. Or went.
yeah, she went downstairs.
Nobody saw her at all.
The boys did. Seen her
I mean,
downstairs.
Yeah.
But from there, they don't know. She could have. somebody could have knocked on the basement door.
That's what I was
and
gonna
she
ask.
might have answered it, like, who are you or what? Or she could have come outside and got on the swing over here.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably would have answered the door if somebody would have knocked on it.
Was the door opened or
We don't know. We don't know.
It
so?
wasn't locked. It
The
could have been
kids-
opened or
The
not.
kids leave the doors unlocked and stuff, and they're
Yeah.
wide open all the
Why,
time.
Well,
sure. Look where you're at. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
when I was a kid growing up, this is what
You
we.
wouldn't think we'd have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
But we did. We had CPS, and I think they outright kidnapped my daughter, or had her kidnapped. I really strongly believe they're the only ones. I mean, look what they did. And 300,000 Mexican children. How did they adopt all 300,000 of that?
I'm
without an
sure
issue?
when they were
have the
here,
power.
they went through your house and
Well,
all
the
this and
police
that.
did.
Yeah. I'm talking about before when CPS was here. Did they
Well,
not
they
look
looked at some stuff and everything.
Okay.
Now, knowing what I know now, I'd never let him in on the property.
So do
Now,
y'all get to talk to the boys, the three boys?
what about the three boys?
Do you still get to talk to them or see them?
No,
You do.
no,
So you don't know
wow.
anything
No, they-
about the three boys
no,
as of right now.
nothing about them. They stole them from us too through family court. They put us
Well,
through
no
the
wonder
ringer.
she's-
They put us through hell.
Now, you know what, Dawn? They didn't put you through hell. You put your kids through hell. They lived in that sloppy house. They were abused. We hear many people say that. They were not watched properly, or Summer wouldn't be missing. Now, that's my opinion. But here's the thing, Dawn. After you went to court before the DUI, you went to court before your DUI, which is where you fucked up, truthfully. You had court orders to go to classes, to get your house together, to get your life together, to quit doing drugs. You couldn't do that. Even when you had the kids, you were on lives drunk, drugged up, fucked up. You weren't showing up to classes. You got arrested for a DUI. You and Candace were fighting. That was the behavior you were displaying on YouTube, which is why your children were taken. I don't know why you can't comprehend that. Hey, Cher. You had to do things to get your children back. You had that opportunity to do that. The first thing you should have done was not get a DUI. That is your fault. You did 6 months in jail after your daughter went missing because you couldn't stay sober enough for your daughter and for your boys. That is nobody's fault but your own. You should have done what CPS told you to fucking do. Went to the classes, visited your boys. If I remember correctly, you and Candace weren't even showing up to the fucking visits.
Family court is so guilty of child trafficking, it ain't even funny.
So you don't know who got them or
No.
So when you got
just
here,
know that they took
you just
They-
start looking around for Summer.
Yeah. And then I says, well, if them got cops was all up here, and I says,
Yeah.
you guys ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna go down the road and check down there at the meth house. And I went down there and kicked his door in. But,
Do you have any that you know of around close child
offenders.
offenders?
they're everywhere.
I know that, but I mean
I mean,
anything
is there any
close.
The police were down there with Fred. Dawn did not go kicking Fred's fucking door in. That's a lie. And as a matter of fact, in the weeks after, when Dawn went to Knoxville, he went to Fred's and asked Fred to come with him to go find the dealers that they knew. With $2,000 while he buys crack cocaine and has the police follow him, right? Bullshit, Dawn. This is why you don't have your children. You wanted to make a crack run to Knoxville instead of go visit your boys.
Kennedy?
Yeah.
Close
Yeah,
proximity.
I mean,
Okay.
they're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
You go. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, we checked into all that.
So you haven't heard in the last little while recently, you ain't heard of no news, no sightings,
They
no.
hit up every sex offender in this area. They had a military airplane flying for almost a week, just circling up our.
Wow.
They got from the military and the helicopters, 2 different helicopters with infrared.
Okay, so I have to laugh at this part only because last night Jody Sue laughed at it and she was cracking me up. There was not a military airplane in the fucking sky. They had a plane that had GFR on it or something that was able to see the ground. They were able to see if there were hot and cold spots from this plane they used. It was not a fucking military plane. And if anybody remembers, when he was on Josh Labs and Doug's quite often, he would say things like, I don't know why the military can't come in. Where's Trump? Why ain't Trump doing nothing for summer? Dawn, that was not a military plane. I hate to break it to you, but it was not. It was just a plane doing its job.
And stuff looking for her.
Yeah.
She's nowhere out here in the
And they've
hood.
searched everywhere.
And we've checked
No
every person that was with any criminal background or anything. We've looked into the.
And you was at work that day,
You know,
so you've got an alibi as far as.
You know what, Trail Junkie? I don't think Fred, thank you, Little Dev. That's my email. I don't check it all the time, but I do check it. When I do, I'll get back to you. Where was I? What if Fred is lying? Here's the thing. Both I and Killer Looks have found proof and facts to things that Fred have said. For instance, Ruby Bill, Lady in the Night. She's real. She worked at the Mouse's Air in Johnson City and Knoxville. She is a real human. She is she's a deaf girl. She's a stripper. But she's real as fuck. Ruby wouldn't have been able to tell the story that Ziggy's saying she was able to tell because Ruby is deaf.
Where you was at,
yeah.
and the boys saw her that morning
Yeah,
after
the
you done
boys
gone
were
to
the
work.
last- The boys were the last one to see her.
Okay. And you were at work, so that you're completely.
I mean, they could always frame me, Hopkins County, can I guarantee you.
Like I said,
Did they hear any cars or anything
Nothing.
going? Or,
Nothing.
do cars go by here or anything like
I
that? Or you
mean,
got the
they-
last place
Yeah,
here?
I mean, there's a few people that live back up in there, but not a whole lot of traffic. There
Okay.
was at the end because, I mean, there was someone down there while that was, they was dealing drugs and a lot of druggies going in and out. But
Okay.
I don't believe any of them had anything to do with it. We talked to all of them.
So your wife says she was out with her mother in the camper.
Well, they was out here planting flowers.
Okay.
And then Summer wanted to go.
So I need to go back a little bit. He just said another drug dealer. He just told us who another drug dealer was, and I don't think it was Andy. Was it the Blue Roof Dawn? Let's listen to this again.
And you was at work that day, so you've got an alibi as far as where you was at,
Yeah.
and the boys saw her that morning
Yeah,
after
the
you done
boys
gone
were
to
the
work.
The boys were the last one to see her.
Okay. And you were at work, so that you're completely.
I mean, they could always frame me, Hopkins County, can I guarantee you.
Like I said,
Did they hear any cars or anything
Nothing.
going? Or, do cars go by here or anything like
I
that? Or you
mean,
got the
they-
last place here?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people that live back up in there, but not a whole lot of traffic. There
Okay.
was at the end because, I mean, there was someone down there while that was, they was dealing drugs and a lot of druggies going in and out. But
Okay.
There was someone down there at the end that was dealing a lot of drugs. They had a bunch of druggies going in and out. He's talking about the end by Beach Creek. So he's now telling you there is a new drug dealer on Ben Hill Road in Beach Creek. Not just Fred.
I don't believe any of them had anything to do with it. We talked to all of them.
So your wife says she was out with her mother in the camper.
Well, they was out here planting flowers.
Okay.
And then Summer wanted to go in, so she brought her in and made sure she got in the door.
Sure.
And then she went out back there to help her mother with a brace or something or whatever. But she was in here with the boys up here, supposedly safe. You think she'd be safe. But again, I want to emphasize the only ones that were in our lives were CPS. They're known for child trafficking.
Yeah.
I can give you some YouTubers and other channels that you can follow. And that what they do in family court and stuff, they legally kidnap kids. That's how they took our boys.
Yeah.
They took them clear across the freaking country and then offered us a gas card. And so I'd have to take off 2 days of work just to go visit our boys. And then they made it seem like it was such a drag that they had to go take off from their normal life to go visit the parents, you know, and I could tell they were changing them. They put all three of them on.
This is where I'm going to go look for something. They did not just come take the boys. They actually called Clyda Trent to come take the boys. Clyda Trent had the boys for days.
Hello again, guys. How are you today? Karen Goad's best friend. And Don's mother apparently died at Clyda's home. Clyda held on to the 110 Ben Hill Road property for several years before signing it over to Don because Don needed to be married to take possession of that property. And we do know that Clyda and the Reverend Dinsmore is tied up in the Church of Latter-day Saints. Karen Goad was a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
And I just seen something else that I didn't know happened. You ready? So Clyda has passed away in the last 2 or 3 months. She's no longer around. The interview I was looking for is actually just Valkyrie talking. I don't think it's the actual interview. Hold on. Oh, it is. Hold on.
Yes, his dad lives up. What is now Mary Sexton's property and the property behind Donnie Wells, all that belonged to Karen Goad at one time, and she subdivided it all off and put septic tanks and wells on it, and she sold that property off for a profit.
Now I have the deed, and since I read up to page 4, I believe, we're going to finish that deed after we listen to this since I'm skipping all around. I really didn't have live planned for today. I'm kind of just going with the flow. I was hoping my friend would sit in the room with me. He just can't do the live streams. He don't like the talking back and forth. Okay, hold on.
And then she did it to me, and then I eventually deeded it to Donnie.
Gotcha. And what's your affiliation with Don in Utah?
Is he in Utah? I thought he was still out in Tennessee.
No, he's in jail right now. But he's in Tennessee, but I do know that Utah is another place that he tends to go often.
Yes, his dad lives up north.
He's
I also want to point out The voice interviewing Clyda Trent is the same as Tragedy Pimps Exposed and that weird lady that sees faces and harasses Benny.
In Tennessee.
And Sage Sleuth.
But I do know that Utah is another place that he tends to go often. Yes, his dad lives up north of where I live. Okay. And you're in Utah? Yes, but I used to live about 30 or 40 minutes from him. Okay. And then
And she still holds property in Tennessee. So I believe that there's still a couple of small plots of land that she.
No, she owned a lot of property in Tennessee. And Gary Simpson, who kidnapped Carly Trent, actually had custody of Carly Trent when he kidnapped her. The parents had just got her back. Carly was living with her aunt and Gary Simpson, her husband. Gary Simpson went and picked Carly up from school. The police already knew Carly was kidnapped by Gary because they had him on camera. Whereas it's different from Summer's case. We don't know who took Summer. From day one, minute one, they knew who came into the school and took Carly out of the school. Was it practice for Summer? That's what I'm curious about.
She holds in Tennessee. Hang on just a second. All right, here we go.
I also see that you lived at one time at 110 Ben Hill Road. No, that's Donnie's address. 110 Ben Hill Road. Then maybe it's because you were the real estate associate through the real estate company, maybe? I don't know. But, my name was on the deed for several years. Okay. And, I don't know, do you have any thoughts or anything you'd like to share about the Summer Wells case? It's just tragic because they don't know how their daughter's doing or if she's dead or alive or here or there. That would, being a mother, that would just drive me wild. Are you in contact at all with Candace or Brandis? Candace. I haven't been for probably, I think the last time we were in contact maybe was when I was out there last end of December. Mm-hmm.
Now, catch that because she says the last time she was out there was the end of December. Now, listen to what she's going to say here.
I agree with Bill.
So you were there at the end of December. How was the family then? When did the kids get taken away about that time? No, in June. They were taken away in July. June 15th, Summer went missing, and then child, they took the children as well. Yes, actually, I was out there then, and okay, this is the part that really needs concentration, because I feel as if this could go really much deeper, because first she says she hasn't been out there since December 21st. And then she says she was out there right before the kids were taken. Listen real closely to the timeline, you guys. It's all wrong. Child, they took the children as well. Yes, actually, I was out there then, and the DCS, is that right? Yes. Department of Children's Services. Messy. I called Barry because me and my friend wanted to visit them. And so we did. Well, he said, I said, I could come out Wednesday or Thursday. Which one is best for you? He said, well, BCS is coming Wednesday at 6:30 and come in. I said, oh, no, I'll just come, Thursday. He said, well, I'm tied up Thursday. Please come Wednesday. So we ended up housing.
Okay, this is very, very important part.
It is, because just take a look at the days of the week and the day that Summer come up missing, and you do the math yourself.
She says, Lyda Trent says, they ended up taking the boys the first night because DCS did not have a place to put them. They had no holding facility. So this idea that they were planning to take the boys for years before, they were there to take the kids. They were so ill prepared, they did not even have a place to take the boys. It's quite a trip.
The first night after, do you understand that makes no sense? I'm trying to figure this out. Listen.
Housing the kids that first night after they left.
The first night after.
So what you're hearing is the night DCS, CPS, whatever you're calling it, took the boys. Clyda Trent was given the boys. They weren't just removed and taken to court and into foster home and given away. They tried to have Dawn's family and friends intervene and help. What Dawn is stating is not fact. I just want people to know that DCS did not kidnap his kid the day after they came. Now, is there a possibility somebody was with DCS that said, oh, this is bad, let me come back tomorrow and take that kid? Yeah. But I don't think DCS went out to take Summer and traffic her. That's just not fucking plausible, especially when Clyda Trent had the children the first night. But let's finish.
After the, you mean after DCFS took the kid?
Yes, did not have a place to put them. It was, they didn't have a holding place in a school or something that allowed to go. So they asked us if they could come and stay there over Churchill.
Oh, wow. At that time, Summer was already gone.
Yes.
So she.
Her property in Churchill directly connects to Carly Trent's property, where Carly was living before Carly went missing, and to the people who kidnapped Carly. Their last name is Trent, and there is a connection in Churchill. I don't mean to be so hyper with you guys, but it drives me crazy all the things people miss. Was Carly practiced for Summer? I have to question that. Here's the thing. Gary Simpson had cancer. He was dying. He died literally months after, or weeks even, after he went to jail for kidnapping Carly Trent. That's not a man who can sexually assault a child. That was a very sick man. It's odd to me. That's all I'm going to say.
There, Summer was already gone, and she's actually saying she was there the day that she went missing.
Did y'all just catch what this woman? she realizes that she has done got caught tripping her own self up, and now she's trying to backpedal up out of it. Here we go.
Okay, here's where I began to start to lose my patience with this person. Okay, she came in July, the day that the boys were taken. Summer went missing June 15th. She is not saying she is there when Summer went missing. How hard is that to understand? Excuse me for my snarkiness. I'm irritated.
Makes no sense. Were you there when Summer went gone? Because they were gone the day they were supposed to get picked up.
No, she was already gone. Yeah, she was gone.
See, this is a problem. I have a problem with this.
Okay, now Rogersville. So they asked us if they could come and stay there over at Churchill.
Oh, wow. At that time, Summer was already gone.
Yes.
So
I've not heard Marlena say that. Marlena's been on my panel talking about that. You know what? Maybe it's been a while, and I reached out to her. She reached out back to me in TikTok, and then I reached back out to her again, and she didn't write me back. I'm extremely concerned about Marlena Crawford right now because I don't know where she is, and I know she's an active user, and that concerns me. Not because I think she took Summer, but for her safety.
were you there when Summer went gone? Because they were gone the day they were supposed to get picked up.
No, she was already gone.
Took her a while to answer, though.
Yeah, she was gone. And
So DCFS was supposed to come the night, correct, and then she was gone on that 15th, the day before. So,
no, wait a minute, there's something messed up about that.
You think?
The kids, were taken after Summer.
Correct. Oh, yes, the boys were taken after.
And I noticed, and I told DCS, I've been, playing with the boys, entertaining them.
She totally won't answer the question. She's avoiding it. Now she's going to a safe place.
They're interviewing the parents. And the three boys were very...
After I'm done here, go back and play this again and run it all back together because I have to take transformative pauses and listen to this again and again and again and see what you think about it.
Nice. They acted like boys and they hopped around a little bit, but they weren't mean to each other and they didn't yell curse words and they were just nice kids. It's so sad.
How was Summer?
I didn't see her.
When you knew and saw her before, she gave anything to share about the way Summer is or was?
It might have been. How old was she when she was taken?
5.
Yeah, I think I saw her last when she was 3 or 4. And she was really a happy child.
God bless Backwoods Bama for her patience.
What Miss Trent, who spent time with the children, just said. The boys were well behaved. They didn't cuss. They weren't mean to each other. She goes on to say that Summer was a happy little girl that loved her mother and father. So this narrative that, these children were out of control, hurting each other, mean children, their parents were just totally neglectful and abusive.
All right, that's all I'm going to play of that. But form your own opinions of what you take from that interview with Miss Trent and see how you want to put that together. I know what opinions I have formed from putting that together. The rest of it is just, her own opinions of how she feels about it. And everybody's opinions differ depending on which side of the fence you're sitting on. And I may not sit on the same side of the fence as Backwoods does, and that's okay. Everybody has a right to their own opinions. But at the end of the day, we're all sharing the same information for the same purpose, and that purpose is to bring Summer home, right? We all have the same goal, and that is to bring Summer home, one way or the other. So what I need you all to do is to share this video out as many times as you can. Geez, Louise, you will have
found Ziggy's channel. What I remember is that one of the cats, she had two at the time. One of them was using the bathroom. Number two, all over her
You want to
house.
look for the frame
So
that is
instead of
surrounded by
taking it to the
gray.
vet in a timely manner,
Gray
she
area.
decided to buy a cage.
PIs. And she got pissed off at me because I kept saying you need to turn it into TBI. That's where it needs to go, not the PIs. In fact, there is a message that she may have removed by now. I screenshot it, however.
If it was going to use the bathroom, they would just put it in the cage. And then I guess she would blame her daughter when the cat was in the cage too long. So anyway, this cat or these two cats, I don't know.
On either side. So you have the frame, and then on both sides, it's gray or black.
PIs. And she got pissed off at me because I kept saying you need to turn it into TBI. That's where it needs to go, not the PIs. In fact, there is a message that she may have removed by now. I screenshot it, however.
Found Ziggy's channel. What I remember is that one of the cats, she had two at the time. One of them was using the bathroom. Number two, all over her
You want to
house.
look for the frame
So
that is
instead of
surrounded by
taking it to
gray.
the vet in a timely manner,
Gray
she
area.
decided to buy a cage.
PIs. And she got pissed off at me because I kept saying you need to turn it into TBI. That's where it needs to go, not the PIs. In fact, there is a message that she may have removed by now. I screenshot it, however.
If it was going to use the bathroom, they would just put it in the cage. And then I guess she would blame her daughter when the cat was in the cage too long. So anyway, this cat or these two cats, I don't know.
On either side. So you have the frame, and then on both sides, it's gray or black.
PIs. And she got pissed off at me because I kept saying you need to turn it into TBI. That's where it needs to go, not the PIs. In fact, there is a message that she may have removed by now. I screenshot it, however.
in my library. It says the day the Wells boys were removed. And go from there. I can't remember all these dates. All these dates just kind of sort of start running together when you put out video after video after video after video, you know. And I apologize for that because that is an important date that I should not forget, because it's just as traumatic for those little boys as it is.
So you heard the part I wanted you to hear. Clyda Trent had property of the house. She had custody of the boys the night they were removed from home and couldn't keep them because she was too old. She just passed away 2 months ago. She was called in to take the boys. She was very close to the boys. She'd seen Summer a year prior to Summer going missing. She was a staple in their lives. And I just showed you, hey Selena, and let's do it one more time. I just showed you 4 channels with one voice. We now have Backwoods Bama, Sage Sleuth, TPE, and Wikimedia. All the same person, in my opinion. Give it another listen.
Like found Ziggy's channel, what I remember is that one of the cats, she had 2 at the time. One of them was
the videos
using
like
the
that, and it
bathroom.
shows the frames
Number
between
2,
the frames.
all over her
You want to
house.
look for the frame
So
that is
instead of
surrounded by
taking it to the
gray.
vet in a timely manner,
Gray
she
area.
decided to buy a cage.
PIs. And she got pissed off at me because I kept saying you need to turn it into TBI. That's where it needs to go, not the PIs. In fact, there is a message that she may have removed by now. I screenshot it, however.
If it was going to use the bathroom, they would just put it in the cage. And then I guess she would blame her daughter when the cat was in the cage too long. So anyway, this cat or these 2 cats, I don't know.
On either side. So you have the frame, and then on both sides, it's gray or black.
PIs. And she got pissed off at me because I kept saying you need to turn it into TBI. That's where it needs to go, not the PIs. In fact, there is a message that she may have removed by now. I screenshot it, however.
Like found Ziggy's channel, what I remember is that one of the cats, she had 2 at the time. One of them was
the videos like
using
that,
the
and it
bathroom.
shows the frames
Number
between
2,
the frames.
all over her
You want to
house.
look for the frame
So
that is
instead of
surrounded by
taking it to the
gray.
vet in a timely manner,
Gray
she
area.
decided to buy a cage.
PIs. And she got pissed off at me because I kept saying you need to turn it into TBI. That's where it needs to go, not the PIs. In fact, there is a message that she may have removed by now. I screenshot it, however.
If it was going to use the bathroom, they would just put it in the cage. And then I guess she would blame her daughter when the cat was in the cage too long. So anyway, this cat or these 2 cats, I don't know.
On either side. So you have the frame, and then on both sides, it's gray or black.
PIs.
So the one talking about cats is from Tragedy Pimps Exposed channel. The one talking about the frames, pictures, that was about Benny being in a picture, I think, was Wikimedia. And the other voice you hear is Sage Sleuth. They are all the same fucking voice. Sage won't show her face. Tragedy Pimps Exposed absolutely refuses to show her face. Even came into my messenger one day out of nowhere and begged me not to make her show her face. When did I ever say I wanted to show you to show your face? Why won't you show your face? Is it because you have the same face as Wikimedia? Tragedy Pimps Exposed? Or Sage Sleuth? Or Backwoods Bama? 4 channels, 1 voice. They are all the same human, in my opinion. All right, so let's move on. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, we didn't even get to part 2 yet. We didn't finish that. But we wanted to listen to, and I'm just going to come down and not give any commentary. I'm going to stay in the chat. I have part 2 and part 3 pulled up with me and Jody Sue's conversation. We went over, no, not 666, Wicca, Sage, and Tragedy Pimps Exposed, who is 666's best friend with Karen Elliott. playing fuck shit games with Nana and Ryan and Gavel and Krama and Fred. It's just disgusting. And that one human, in my opinion, is 4 channels. Oh, 5. Bam Bam Boogie. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys listen because I promised you guys some more of me and Jody Sue's conversation. So I'm going to play this, and hopefully I have StreamYard hours and I can come back later and we can try again to go over part 2 of Hatfield and McCoy.
Kevin, and they say they've had her fuck up the house, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then we go home. I was like, you're going to turn this motherfucker around right now. And instead, and he's like, I can't believe this motherfucker, this and the other, right? So then we turn around and we end up meeting them at her aunt's house, like whatever the fuck it is, 2 doors down from Andy's parents' house. And Andy gets out the fucking Jeep and's like, bitch, look here. Don't you ever be on my fucking property again. Because he knew she was in his inbox calling him white trash and all kinds of shit because she thought after I cut contact with her, I wouldn't know that she, because when I did that, she started immediately trying to message Andy, but I could see the message. And I guess she assumed nobody else, it would be her trying to fuck with Andy and lie about me or whatever, And that's just the type of devious she is.
So do you think she had a thing for Andy?
No, it's just she's crazy, man. Seriously. And she thought, well, I'm pissed at this bitch, so I'm going to talk to Andy and be like, blah, blah, blah. That's what she did. At the same time, she gets a hold of my sister, Amy, and starts talking shit, wanting to know why I'm so mad at her. And my sister is like, pretty neutral, like she'll try to calm the situation, right? But she knows how Amanda is. She's the one told me to stay the fuck away from her. Then, but Amy will say one thing to another, right? So Amy to Amanda was like, I don't know what I'm nice, but to me, she was like, stay the fuck away from that bitch. I was like, I know, Amy. And we'd had that conversation months prior that Amanda was nothing but trouble. Stay as far away from her as I could while I was friends with Luke and Eric, and I'll be damned if it wasn't trouble. But that's the first people Amanda did. She reached out to my sister to start the rumors, the poor me bullshit, And that's what she do. She's fucking loops, right? So then, and she always has a look. So then, what she does is she reaches out to Andy too. Who does that? Is this kindergarten place? Like, no, ain't none of nobody's business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, girl, we ain't too, but she wants to win people and all this shit, and she's always stirring fucking shit. So then, what happens is, after that, the green card thing happens. Oh, a year later or something. That's how far I was like, is this bitch kidding me? But Andy jumps out of the fucking car on her and is like, motherfucker, do not be on my property again. And he told Kevin, he's like, me and you are not going to get along. If you're
So wait, she was sneaking on your property?
No, Kevin didn't know what the bitch was up to. And she had him bring her to our property saying she wanted to look at that green car.
That's what I'm saying, Jody. So you don't find something fishy with all of that? And then all of a sudden, a year later, Summer's missing?
No, a year later, this was about 4 years before Summer.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it goes to prove she knows the area and she's capable of sneaking up on land.
Yeah, her family just lives right there across the county line on the Sullivan side. That's where she was kind of raised. And she is semi-kin to Andy. However, I know Andy doesn't deal around the crazy bitch. That's why I knew what she was saying was untrue. And her going on with, well, Andy, he's got so much support in the community and all this. And I'm like, you whine, bitch. So then what happens is here she is involved now that Summer's vanished, playing chick on a stick, pretending she knows all about my life, and and blah blah blah. And all she ever spoke on wasn't Summer. It was making me look suspect. It was always my name, dude, coming out of her damn mouth.
So you seen her and was in contact with her before she went on Squalls?
I mean, I had not seen or heard from AP since the green.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's just odd, Jody Sue. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it to me, looking at everything I seen and seeing who's friends with who, and I'm off YouTube right now. You're kind of blowing me away a little bit, and
admitted on one panel because her and Squall have a good laugh about it, about how she's been watching me all these years on Facebook, which tells me where I've got her blocked. That means she's got other profiles. And the thing is, that means she's got access onto my Facebook somehow. And I know everybody on mine. So that means she's using somebody else's to do it. Or she's pretending to be somebody else we know, and I don't realize it, because all those videos she's talking about with Squall that she watched were private ones that Squall stole, but AC, and they make mention of it, had watched prior. The only way that could have been done is if she's actually ensconced on my damn Facebook somehow.
Scott?
So, AC has been stalking me for the entire 5
years. Right. That's what I'm saying. What if she's trying to set you up for Summer?
I don't know, man, because she has.
Well, listen, the night I told you about her and you were live when you found out about her, and this is what I was trying to get to you, with you before. You had started whispering, and a lot of people didn't pay attention, but Jody Sue, I was in tuned, And you mentioned Luke and Tucker. Did you see the new video that came out? I don't know how long ago, because I really haven't been paying attention. And it just come across, but somebody who worked for Tucker had made mention that somebody wanted to, listen, that somebody in Tucker's family wanted to adopt their children, pay them for a child. They wanted a girl in the Tucker's family.
I've not seen that.
Okay, do you know that Linda is the daycare provider for, I'll send it to you, I'll find it. It's in my history.
County, all that shit, supposedly. She used to send me pictures of inside the daycares, inside of her house. It's goofy. But Linda's not Linda. But there's something wrong with Linda. And Linda's vanished since the Post-it Note 3 conversation with TM panel where Scott was on there with Post-it Note 3, and they suddenly got along.
No, that was months ago. Linda's still around.
I know.
Linda is still around, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. That day I was talking to you, I got real sus again of you. Because while I'm talking to you, she's messaging me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she still got her real, like the Facebook from Linda, whatever, and she'll message her. However, she's under different clothes and cat right now.
I tell you, I want to tell you something, but I can't. Because I don't know if there's truth to it, and I don't want to get it out there until I know.
She was used as a weapon to destroy, basically, Chroma and Gabble's fucking, quote, database. But Chroma and Gabble, they've become just as pointed weapons as you and Shay were.
Oh, yeah.
But
They're idiots.
Shay, when she's drinking...
I'm eating. Sorry, I have my dinner. My frozen burger. Anyways, did you hear what Jody just told me? So Linda came out here as a researcher for Squat. I also think she came out under the name of Carol Johnson. Post-it Note 3. She had many, many names. Her start was a researcher for Squat and Penny. Then she started driving around with Chase, Scott, and Penny. You just hear her say that Linda was sent in to destroy Gal's database. Remember the computer she thinks she runs everything in? Yeah. So I think that's important to listen to. I need to find this video. There was a man who worked for Tucker who did a very short interview. And during that interview, he had said that Tucker's daughter wanted to buy Summer or adopt her. I'm going to find that video and share it with you guys. I'd like to know who the man is because they don't show his face. Okay, let me finish this. But Linda is definitely a weapon, in my opinion.
Drinking Kool-Aid, but behind the scenes, I know even like a month ago, Crime and Gabble are like, yeah, Jody's innocent, but we're still doing this. But you know, it's gotten worse though, to where they almost believe it, even behind scenes. But they don't realize how much they were fucked with, that their database was literally destroyed from the word go once they were brought here. And like the Lori Methvin character from Facebook, that profile / Robert Methvin, is the string that ties a lot of these, right?
Who?
Lori and a Robert Methvin profile, the one that hangs out in the Chill After Dark groups, other places you'll find them. They're actually one of the hackers and weapons. They're a fake thing used by this group. And they are the ones that draw in Crime and Gabble and are ensconced in their Facebook court group that finds out about the database first. Then Crime and Gabble are brought onto YouTube and preyed upon. Scott H puts Linda inside of there, feeding them bullshit that kind of destroys it and makes them have to go to Benny Keys. And that's basically all they got left at that point, is what they think is the golden egg, which is the Discord group, right? They think they've really got something.
Man, I feel like I need to go get me a fucking Discord to figure it out because I don't understand Discord.
Discord's fucked. And you ain't getting nowhere with that.
Okay, but anyways, let me go back a little bit because I didn't mean to go that far into this. My question was, that night you were whispering, you mentioned Luke being like intertwined with Tucker, right?
Maybe because his family owns, or still owns, a business that does drywall and housing and all that shit. And then when Luke's uncle died, not long before he stopped hanging out and talking and shit with the Eric stuff, with Luke,
like, why can't they just be proud for the kid? He's doing something good in his life.
They used it to terrorize me and put out bullshit.
I hate to say it, but I if I was your son, I'd be happy to. The military's hard, but I'd be happy to get the fuck away from there with the way they're doing
swear to
him.
God, I've got somebody on my fucking page in my comments going, it looks like you in the red truck, JSP.
Oh.
Really? Yeah, I'm on it. How in the fuck am I taking a picture of myself from a camper out into the roadway?
Oh my God. Did you call the police and show them they're driving by your house and taking pictures?
Well, the cops were already here a few minutes later because I called him and told him what time to, be here with these fucking lawsuit shit. And I've asked them for that.
Should I call anything about Richard Tucker wanting parental rights for children or anything like that?
Yes, he offered me $10,000 for parental rights for my daughter at one time. That was for his wife. She wanted another little girl, and she could.
Can I ask you something? Do you know anything about Richard Tucker wanting parental rights for children or anything like that?
Yes, he offered me $10,000 for parental rights for my daughter at one time. That was for his wife. She wanted another little girl, and she could.
Can I ask you something? Do you know anything about Richard Tucker wanting parental rights for children or anything like that?
Yes, he offered me $10,000 for parental rights for my daughter at one time. That was for his wife. She wanted another little girl, and she could.
700 or the court clerk's office in Sullivan County.
All right.
And look, you can go.
We're supposed to hate each other. How we both being sued by the same fucking person?
What? Fuck Fano. And I need a judge. I need you to send me what your web page looks like in full effect.
I don't know if I have all. I might. Listen, you just gotta give me. You don't understand. Like, I was really, really done with this, but now you just, Amanda Athey, made me want to go harder. Like, I want to know who the fuck Scott is, and I want to know who Squall is, and I want to know how they're connected, and I want to know.
We'll rip that mask off.
There's,
This right
yeah.
here will do that.
Yep. That's probably why Squall's fucking hiding.
Yep.
That's probably exactly why Squall's hiding.
That coincides with some shit going on here. She's been very quiet since it happened.
Yeah.
And
She has since before I even took my channel down.
Yep. And it coincides with something I know about. So yeah, there's a reason.
See, I'm getting sued.
What? For how much?
I don't know.
Oh, this one, it says in there that she's after whatever, and the only thing they can't confiscate from us is clothing and family Bibles, girl.
Well, what the fuck are they? They ain't taking my shit. I don't even have much. I don't even own my home. I have no assets.
Let me explain to you that this person.
At this time, I did not own my home. I acquired my home 2 years after this in 2024. It was gifted to me. That's when Linda started filing lawsuits on me when I was gifted my home. This was during the Athey fake lawsuit that was filed under real estate instead of discrimination that was dropped. Isn't he running for controller, Little Dev, I think? He ran a few years ago and lost. I don't think Tucker should win fucking anything for right now, till there's answers for summer. Especially when you get people who state they're ex-employees. Let me go back and play that again. Saying shit like this.
Can I ask you something? Do you know anything about Richard Tucker wanting parental rights for children or anything like that?
Yes, he offered me $10,000 for parental rights for my daughter at one time. That was for his wife. She wanted another little girl, and she could.
Can I ask you something? Do you know anything about?
I barely knew ever had it.
She's gonna lose, Jody Sue. I have the very first video, and I'm pretty sure that's the same one she talked about Andy's funeral in. Was the very first interview she did. Is that what you need?
Yes. But there's another one out there to where he goes into greater detail and is saying that my family's screaming at me at the funeral, that they're telling me about the YouTube bullshit to shut the fuck up, and there's a whole big fight, and all the women are telling me my aunt.
Yeah, I remember that. That was CSI.
Mm-hmm.
Did Piper remove the video?
She's hid half her shit.
Okay, so we get a court order for her to have to force to show it.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe, but it's going to cost.
You should tell your attorney. No, tell your attorney that's where the proof is. That Piper has it and it's hidden. Because your attorney can court order that.
Yeah, they can.
I'm not going to call them because they didn't give me anything yet The only thing I got was that attorney. I seen it.
You seen it?
Yeah, my husband was just telling me about it. The only thing I seen was that attorney ad. Like, come get an attorney in Kingsport. I'm thinking my ass is in fucking Pittsburgh.
Look, I'm getting ready to hire the best, and he is absolutely part of the boys club, and he wins cases without walking into court. I very much believe that. And he is the attorney to have, and this is so easy. He'll take this shit without being paid for.
Yeah.
I promise.
This is all summer. Somebody's going to take this pro bono. Have you ever thought of doing that? Hey, okay, I'm sorry. I love you. Do you work tonight? All right.
If you get me enough evidence,
oh God,
on this shit, you're not glad to be here. You won't have to pay for an attorney, and you have nothing to worry about. And he can rip.
And there, you know how Jody Sue says everybody blackmails her? This is Jody Sue blackmailing me for my content. She will get me an attorney if I give her her content, and I will beat Chicken on a Stick. He's the best attorney ever.
Yep. I'm the best.
You're the best?
I'm the best.
Boo-boo's my attorney. You lose.
You
don't fit
without you ever having to touch here.
All right.
Done. I'm telling you, AP does have.
Malaya's going with you.
That you can go on a nice vacation, and we
Jody
can
Sue.
Hold on, he wants to say something again. What did you say?
I said, Jody Sue, she did it. Absolutely, I swear to God, she did it.
What'd you say about the double flip? What did you say?
I don't know. If the glove don't fit, you must quit.
You guys are gonna love this guy. I promise.
Hold on 1 minute, please. Say that again. Me.
Yeah. So they were stalking me, and he was parked outside of the oncology in Kingsport office, thinking that's where I was. How in the fuck they know my oncologist was there, dude?
With me.
Right?
What the fuck?
I'll show you.
I got the message. I'm parked outside of oncology. Excuse the fuck out of me, but they had the wrong one. I was at the one in Johnson City.
Oh my God.
So he was just going to jump out on me and force it. Then I caught him lying to me about going to talk to Lawson that day and all these other things, and I didn't feel good, and he kept trying to push it so he could, like, bummer me with an interview, right?
This was recently?
Yeah.
What the fuck am I missing?
And the PIs and cops. Because I kind of, it did coincide. My mom and mother were both sick. My mother ends up in the ER. When I get back here from oncology, she's gone. I didn't think anything about it. And then my mom calls and goes, Mother's in the hospital. I was like, what the fuck? And this was in the middle when he told Chris that I was home, but I didn't feel good. I was going to rest. You know, since he was going to be in town for a couple days, he could fuck off. But instead, he was like, I'll be here in a minute. I'll be here no matter what I said. And I think he thinks I lied to him. But, man, that right there, you just don't show up stalking my ass, knowing somehow where my other oncologist is, and out in the parking lot waiting on me after.
I would have called the police.
So what Jody Sue is telling us here is that Chris McDonough was coming to her cancer appointments when she was going to get infusions. And he was waiting for her in the fucking parking lots. When she exited her doctor's, he was standing there. On the very day her mother had a heart attack and was in the hospital.
Oh.
And then she caught him lying to her about Ronnie Lawson, going to see Ronnie Lawson.
I know Ronnie Lawson.
Don't. Don't say that. Don't believe you. Don't say that shit. I'll get so much hate here.
He's a redhead stepchild.
Actually, he's a bald guy.
Probably was
You
redhead.
want to see him?
No, I don't care.
Here, hold on. I'm going to show you.
With a name like Ronnie Lawson.
This is Ronnie Lawson.
Looks like me.
He looks like you. No, he don't. Jesus.
Like, that's fucked.
I would have called the police. Like, I don't give a shit who he is. You don't show up at somebody's doctor's.
Well, here's the thing, though. From the very earliest period that this group, Tiffany Marie, I have proof Tiffany Marie was having Chase stalk us and telling him, which he was telling us these people were undercover cops and off duties and whatever, his people, right? That he knew. But actually, it was just goofballs he could talk into it. Tiffany Marie is telling Chase that she's reporting back and having him follow us and stalk us and shit and using those people he's making me believe are here for my safety for Christmas.
So you never knew Chase before Summer went missing?
No.
Do you know why people are saying that?
Because it makes me look sus, and because Tiffany Marie, I know for a fact her plan was to try to link Scott H., Squall, and the locals. Because what she was saying to me, she was acting like she wasn't going to link me with it, but it was all the locals that were something, quote, fishy with them, right?
Well, I think the same
And I
fucking thing.
agree. But she wanted him thrown off the bus. And then what she started saying was, don't you think it'd just be a good idea to disperse this money back? Girl, what they're looking for is that money, that $40,000 to come back to Q Carlock in this group.
Yeah.
Was dispersed here in a couple days. I ain't dumb. And they
What's going on with that? I haven't paid.
No. I don't believe that's the money they're looking for. Q Carlock had her receipts. She had what she had. She gave what she could. She went to court. She didn't get fucking arrested. Okay? Who didn't have receipts for the money they collected was cracking cases and Brad Wishon, in my opinion. So, Jody, I disagree with you. And I do believe I have report 4. Maybe we'll watch that too.
Paid attention. Did Q go to court yet?
People don't know legalese, and they think Fiona's brought a lawsuit against Q in a criminal manner. But actually, what it's going to do is it's going to force that money to be released back to Q instead of carrying on wherever they have pretended they want it sent in the first place. People are not paying.
Well, hopefully Q will donate it. Listen, Jody Sue, I'm going to tell you right now, I think, in my own personal opinion, what Q did was wrong. Okay? Her charges are that she did an illegal fundraiser without getting permission to do it. And I think her heart was in the right, listen, I think her heart was in the right place. And I think Scott H. and the other ones cracking cases, I think they got the Q and went to her. I think they used Q to do this fundraiser, and then Scott H. derailed it. You don't think?
Nope, because I know about Q. Have you ever dug into Q?
I mean, I know she's done some
years that she's a scammer.
Yeah, I listened to your videos. I looked at the stuff that you.
And so is Krama Mama. If you go to Ben Verified and look up Krama Mama, you will see she has played games and triangle money schemes. It's right there. She has gone to conferences for them. She has sold makeup around them. It's the same kind of triangle scheme that you get when people steal money from people. And it's right on Krama Mama's Ben Verified. You can go look for yourself.
But not just that. Okay, I know for a fact she lied to me and robbed myself and the kids. I have messages in the background that show that she knew. I know that her and Benny Keys and TM and NGL and all of them are working together. I have all those things in the background.
Well, I always figured Tiffany Marie was working with her, but
oh yeah,
I feel like the YouTubers,
all that set up between TM and Scott H having a problem really wasn't what it seemed, and it is not what derailed that marathon. I was there the last of it. I know exactly what happened, and Him pretending TM doxed him. You remember that? Like, oh, that's what he
Yeah.
does.
Yep.
It was a fake dox because I have the first panel, right? The TM, when she wanted Scott targeted here a while back so she could start taking him down for rest. But Scott has actually built himself up in his own little village by you, Shay, all that. He's too big now for TM to take down. Anyway, so what happens is that Scott then blames her for doxing him after the marathon to make it look legit. Like that's really what took the marathon down, a lot. But I have the first panel where he gives out all that info himself the very first 10 minutes of the motherfucker.
What panel was that? The marathon?
The very first panel Scott H. ever did was on Tiffany Marie. And I have it.
Does Tiffany still have it up?
No, she gave it to me. And I've played it. And dissected it in about 900 videos, especially recently. But he literally doxes his fucking self with the same info, plus gives out where he lives and everything. But then when the marathon comes down, you remember him going in Discord, him doxed me and all that. It's a lie.
Yeah. There's something not right with him. He's a junkie.
I was there the last minute. I was there all night long, all day long, and I was there the last 10 minutes.
Who introduced Jens to Chase?
That's the thing. Penny was like, here's this guy, Chase. Man.
So who introduced Chase? Penny?
My problem with Chris McDonough, Little Doug, is even after Summer's case, and I understand Brandy appreciates what Chris McDonough did, but he went running right to the police in Monkey's case. And then right after that case, he went to Koberger, where he was walking around the house picking up evidence the police were supposed to pick up, like black gloves, looking up footprints. He's not a detective in those areas. He is retired. He is not a able-bodied police officer able to investigate things anymore. And he inserts himself deeply into these cases. In my opinion, Hunter is one of the biggest witnesses in Summer's case. Him running to Hunter within a month of Summer going missing and questioning him hindered Summer's case. Hunter's words can be used against him in court. Chris McDonough, as a police officer, knows this. It's almost as if he went to sabotage Summer's case. That's just my opinion. Nobody has to agree with me. But what he did is not what police officers would want him to do when they are investigating a missing persons case. Going to Candace, number 1 witness. Going to Hunter, number 2 witness. Going to Allison, number 3 witness. You think he's autistic? He could be. Plus, he was very involved in his own heyday of being a police officer and missing people's cases, making songs, making money off them. He wrote a song that made lots of fucking money in a missing child's case in California. A little Mexican girl. That is where Chris McDonough earned his obsession with missing people. In my opinion.
Me, in my opinion, I kept it quiet because she was working with. Listen, I wasn't lying to you when I said I've been very suspicious of certain people since the very beginning of this. And if you remember when Penny first started her channel, she said she was from Tennessee. Come to find out, she ain't, but she is.
She ain't, but she is, yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? But she was acting like she was local and they were going to drive from the water park to Dawn's job to the Wells home and they were timing things.
She was down here.
She knew Scott before Summer went
Yeah.
missing, in my opinion.
And there is a very real live or 3 where they actually say they're fucking married. I heard it. I was there. But then they're really in the living room, really eating popcorn together at one point. And everybody, and it's gone, right? Poof, into oblivion. But I think the marriage shit was a joke, obviously, but they are very much in the same house one night.
I think
right?
they're related or something.
And I do know she was down here on the ground. You remember when the Subaru airport shit happened when at Rockfield?
Yeah. Yep.
Penny was here on the ground.
Well, and who did the... Listen, here's the other thing, too. Do you remember when her and Scott were together the very beginning, before you even did your interview with them?
Yeah, they were.
Penny was driving. Somebody was driving and they wouldn't show their face. From the water park to Dawn's job to Ben Hill. And they were showing things and trying to figure out where this stop sign is and where's that stop sign. I want to know who was in that fucking car.
Penny comes and goes from here quite frequently. She was here just, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago as well.
Really?
Yep.
And then you got Benny coming down there, and I don't think Benny was involved, but I think they got him
Benny
involved
has
in
been
something.
avoiding this motherfucker since the vigil because he was pissed. And then they doxed us thoroughly.
You can light it. I'm talking to Jody Sue
and put
Brown.
the video out of the LA Xterra and this and the other, and showed a video of how to get here. And then the red truck's ladder rack appears again.
Right.
Which is now causing great concern for law enforcement, feds and that.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. There's something with this marathon. And then, like, people out of the woodwork are coming in. Amanda Athey. Well, how does Amanda know Squall? You know what I mean? Like, they're all related, and that's what I've been trying to say. And I know I sound crazy when I say that woman is that Rebecca Crawford. But if anything, I do believe that there is something that she's related to. I mean, Jody Sue, you got to remember Marlena was in this. Like, I know you don't know everything.
I know more than you know. But
I know you do. I know you do. And I'm not, there's things the feds...
I stay off Marlena for a very reason, and I don't want... That's so much case. I don't want to talk about it. I mean, I know it's very moving part stuff.
Yeah, I bet you do. And I don't want to know that neither. But she's on there. Marlena's such a liar. She's out for money. Listen, I asked her, just like I asked you to talk to me, and the first thing she said to me was, well, everybody else is getting money.
Well, it's like CSI and I'm talking about Andy on that one thing, and she's got up now. She's absolutely garbage, cut the shit out of. But she's like, yeah, Andy wanted $500 for interview, which I knew a long time before CSI got involved.
Yeah, and Marlena said $500 too.
Yeah, and CSI goes, yeah, in that way, him and Jody Sue were just like, I'm telling you right now, I've never been paid for an interview. Never, not once. And I never, ever took a cent, period, till far after Christmas.
Well, and like I said to you, Jody Sue.
And that's still not for interviews. When I say I've made sentences off my own apps, Gash App,
I'm in the process of looking for Chicken on a Stick's first interview with Squall. That's what I'm doing behind the scenes. But Jody is a fucking liar. She took money during the marathon. She says long after Christmas. No, she put gift lists up for her children, a cabin. She collected money on Ziggy's. She sold a t-shirt. She was collecting money for domestic violence. She made a Teesprings. Jody is just as guilty as the rest of them, in my opinion. So this is her lying. I just want you to know that. She did not collect money until far after Christmas. The marathon happened before Christmas. Jody Sue, and it was planned from September.
Like that.
But what I'm saying to you is that doesn't even bother me about you. Okay? I know I've said that.
And I really don't monetize anything about Summer. I don't even monetize my own stuff with the features of kids or happy moments or my oncology because that feels vulturistic to me. So people can just fuck right off.
Well, the point is, though, you're a single mother, and now you have your daughter. And I did read. I've been gone for a while now, but I did read that your son went to the services. Congratulations, and I hope the
He's not
best.
done yet, but Monster announced the fucking date. Wink, wink. The other night.
Yeah, that was the last thing I really looked at. Was that he was I seen a little bit of a fight between you and somebody posted the information. I don't
Tiffany
know.
Marie.
Oh.
Tiffany Marie, the other few days ago, when I first let out that he was recruiting, I just thought happy moment, I'll share a world. And TM then insinuated they turned around. Immediately her and Penny did like it's a bad thing. And they're like, no, you know what real family's like. I was like, are you motherfucking kidding me, you bitches? And then the next day, Tiffany Marie and Penny then come out insinuating that I want him to die. That's why I pushed him in the military, is so he dies, and I collect his death benefits.
Oh my God. Yeah. She's a Crawford. I think I have a message from her saying she's a Crawford too.
Yes.
So she's a Crawford. So your aunt's, that's Fred. Okay. I don't want to ask you nothing. I got it.
And Red Truck this morning's a fucking Crawford. So anyway, here's the thing. AP, as you can see, is not a real mentally sound person. I barely ever had.
Well, her family ain't.
Yeah, I know. It's very notorious around the community. Everybody says maybe she's not into trouble. It's always been that way. And I'm talking, it's nothing.
Different chargers. So when I travel, I don't pack extra cables.
It's not one-sided. It's the DV and all of that is not, that's nothing new. And I don't even know how to say that without sounding bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And
Well,
it's like,
you know,
okay, you know, with this Johnny Depp trial going on with Amber Heard and all that, it's not one-sided. It's mutual. And it always has been. I mean, I believe even if you ask her mother, I mean, you know, why would her parents and people allow Andy to go to her brother's funeral if, you know, he was such a bad dude?
So Andy went to her brother's funeral.
He did. He was a pallbearer. That's pretty accurate. And, you know, she online, it's like, you would think that she was in a safe house somewhere, or, you know, the way she portrays it. You know, she's at her mom's house, or, you know, at her grandma's property.
Yeah.
She's surrounded by people. I mean, she's surrounded by people, you know, that, you know, her family. So I don't know. It makes me mad. Yeah, she could get herself in trouble. And I'm pretty sure that the police had a talk with her, you know, about that. I think that it was more than that she would even go by his parents' house and always with the kids, you know, have the kids go in and ask for money or whatnot. And I don't know. I don't even know if they still have a restraining order or like what the cops have decided. Because when both parties, you know, are initiating, that's the problem.
Yeah.
probably because Andy had been avoiding her for so long because he didn't come home for weeks, before Summer went missing. So, that was going on for a long time. I don't know if you remember, if you had access to her Facebook, there was like daily rants about Andy. And I think that she would take those down.
Yes.
But she would follow me around to, the gas station worked. I think the Waffle House across the street. And it was pretty crazy.
Oh, she just didn't have a driver's license.
She never got one, until maybe, I don't know, maybe this year. I mean, it was common knowledge with people who, lived around here.
And that they were selling.
Chicken on a Stick goes by many names. She has many raincoats. One is Alexandria Nicholas. One is Alexandria Nikolai. One is Abby Blue. She had one under her real name, but her maiden name, Amanda Crawford. She is married to an AV who owns a plane and a bunch of farmland right by the Tuckers and Tucker Hollow out in Balinton. I've been told by people in the area her husband's father is not a good man, that he deals within crimes. I don't know this to be true. It's things I've been told. There was a man unalived on his road in a car, and nobody knows what happened to him. Right by her father-in-law's home. She is Jody Sue's best friend from high school, not Jody Sue, her sisters, along with a man named Luke and a man named Eric. They were all on Squall's page the very first day Squall started her group. This woman came out a year after Summer went missing, and this is what she said. Nobody even knew who she was. She had a fake name. She refused to show her face. She just came out talking shit on Andy and Jody Sue and the whole fucking family. Nobody knows where she comes from. She doesn't know Summer, according to her. I think that's a lie. She went on to play games with Sage Sleuth and TT and Squall and who else? All of those people. She stated that she found evidence from a crime 40 years prior on Lighthauler Road where she was caring for a family member as a nurse. That's a lie. She is a real estate agent. She's not a fucking nurse. But she went on Sages and told you all that she was. This woman has issues. She filed a fake lawsuit against me and Jody. The lawsuit is so fucking dumb. I have the court papers. It was just because I agreed with Jody. She was suing me. She filed the lawsuit under real estate, not under discrimination. The judge threw the lawsuit out, and then Linda came hard with a lawsuit in Hawkins County. Or Sullivan County. It was denied. She moved it to Hawkins County. It was denied. She moved it to Jonesboro. It was denied. She refiled the one in Jonesboro under a different statement on her court papers. So now we are at 5 filed lawsuits for no fucking reason other than the fact that I agreed with Jody. This bitch got a problem. She also lives by the horse pond, right behind Sonic, where Summer went missing that day. I got fucking questions on the day Summer went missing, not where. However, let's go.
Drugs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So, it's just, in my mind, hearing that right there, that puts in my mind, how many more suspects does that put on the list? Because there's
there's a list of customers that need to be looked at.
And the places they would go to get such, could you?
So she's saying Andy and Jody had a ton of customers where they'd go. They used to travel out of state. Candace said the same thing. They went to Washington, D.C. There's tons of evidence of Jody, Sue, and Andy being in Washington, D.C. That was in 2017. Around the time Amanda Apey would have been around about this green car, I think it was Andy and Jody Sue owed her money for drugs. I don't think it had anything to do with a fucking car. She knows all about their travels. Listen to her. She's going to tell you. She is also a human who was having three-way calls with Squall, TT, conference calls with Squall, TT, and Trudy, the PI. That's a problem for me. I've showed proof of it. I'll pull it up again sooner or later. TT sent me the proof. It's in our messages.
You remember we talked about the travel?
Yes, we have talked about the travel.
I mean, weed, just crap like that. But then, also prescription medications is a big deal around here. And, she had cancer. I mean,
right. And
it's crazy to think that somebody would take their medication like that and smell it. I know it's crazy to think, but some people do.
They would travel out of town. They would do a lot of traveling and stuff.
Yes, extensively. I mean, okay, so Washington, Michigan, some beaches. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they went out west. And they had, partners they hung out with that, they would all go together, trade the vehicles. That was crazy.
At the start, you get to pick a shelter freely. Once chosen, there is no going back. It will be your only home.
And there's proof of that. Jody Sue sent Andy messages. I have to find it. I've been searching and searching and searching. I lost it. But Jody Sue had sent Andy messages the day Summer went missing. You see the day before. Did you go up on the hill and trade the cars, Andy? She was talking about Redmond's property. I just think I should bring that out, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. So they lived in Rogersville. I'm not exactly sure what school they should have went to, but I think they went to Cherokee. So that was pretty, I don't know, that was a thing, at least for a while. At some points, she's homeschooled them, and exactly what that means, I don't know. I know at times they have been enrolled in Sullivan when they stayed with Andy's folks, because that's the area that he lives in. But so the eldest one was probably about to graduate about the time, he'd probably been his senior year when COVID hit. And school got all crazy and everything then. I get it. But from someone I know who is close to them, she very much encouraged him to not go to school, to just quit. And he did. And his papa was so disappointed. There was so much rage of her getting back at Andy because he left, that she, who knows what was concocted or, I have no clue. Well, it wasn't going to stop. And honestly, his friends are supportive. And I know it sounds crazy because you would think, I don't know, some people would think that he would be a person who had no friends, but he honestly has good people in his life who care about him, who are like, good job, let's move on, next step. But I knew, because, I live in this community, the Jody Sue drama was going on. But I thought, oh, man, I bet you they're, flipping out. Because, as Jody Sue has said 5 million times, they dabble with things, you know. She's like, Andy's got something on him, Andy's got something on him, you know. But I do know about the big dog they talked about, the Mastiff that she had. It was chained up. The one and only time I was ever there, it was chained up. But I had heard her talk about that dog, you know, for years before. And it was a big, mean dog, but, you know, they had it chained. But, you know, that was, when I was there, it was more than probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, Jody Sue auctioned off the T-shirt.
So you hear their timeline don't match. Jody Sue says it was 5 years ago. Facebook posts prove 2017. But here's Chicken on a Stick saying, oh, it was 2 or 3 years ago. In my opinion, these people were in the drug world together. And I do believe Jody helped set up my lawsuit with Chicken on a Stick, knowing that it would be dropped. That's just my opinion. Summer crops do need attention for good harvest. Oh, yeah, brain dancer.
She was wearing the day she was searching for Summer.
No.
Yes, she did. Do the locals know that Jody Sue is doing everything that she's doing?
I never heard anything about. I didn't know she had a YouTube. I mean, I don't even, a YouTube. I didn't. Yeah, no, but you know, so most of the people around here, they're not too on the internet. And Summer, her case hasn't made a big presence in the news. Yeah, the fraud thing. That's another thing that, like, I don't know how.
She's another one saying that nobody in the area, Summer didn't make a big presence on the news. Chicken on a Stick, WJHL had a whole tab just for Summer. WCYB covered Summer. What's his name? Jeff Bobo very deeply covered Summer. She had a very huge presence in your news. So this is the same thing as you saying nobody's putting flyers out when the flyers were being passed out. You all fucking lie. And it's clear lies. Everybody can see it. WJHL covered Summer's case 24 hours a day. Even on Facebook, Ansley Daniels was down there. Summer's face was in the news daily. So please shut up and spare me your fucking bullshit.
How, well, you know, she's wiggling around that. You know, the whatever monies was sent to, you know, I think my understanding right now is when she asks for monies, it's like a PayPal or a Cash App or something like that. And it goes into her son's name because, you know, she gets like a disability check. And maybe other assistance. And so she puts everything in her son's name.
Jody did come out here with her Cash App in her son's name. Everything is in her son's name. She wanted us to buy her a cabin on Ziggy's channel and put it in her son's name. That's not a lie. However, Chicken on a Stick, Amanda Athey, it is not your job to come out here and tell us Jody Sue's financials. Now, why don't you come out here and tell us about your husband's weed crops that he owns and sells medical marijuana from and has licenses for, and all his property down in fucking Florida and in other counties in Tennessee, or yours, Miss Realtor, not a nurse, you fucking liar. Yes.
The person that we're talking about is one of her online buddies that helped her.
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't want, because I know it been by a different name. So the person we're thinking of, or that were both talking about, they knew each other before online. They knew each other.
Your suspect and Jody Sue knew each other.
Yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes. But I just knew that like they did, and like so when that thing was done online, it's like, wait, because it was explained to me, and then when it was explained online, I'm like, but then he went and like they went somewhere together, and
Yes.
everybody was like, yeah. I was like, well, then what happened? Well, then she got mad about something, and so I guess that's when fake feds or whatever come on, and she like, I don't know, had to get out, or I don't know, like, but that went bad for whatever reason.
If somebody thought they could do something.
One hint. I'm replying to Music City Mom. She was asking for us to give them 3 hints, and I said I'll give y'all 1 hint.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like that, and let me tell you, he would say like that she would get up at like all throughout the night to be walking the property line and like just being absolutely, off the chain. And he had to sleep because he had to get up and go to work the next day.
Jody did say at the beginning of this case, let me turn the volume off and let the thing skip. Jody did say at the beginning of this case that she would get up in the middle of the night and walk the woods and look for Summer because they had a peeping Tom years prior. I find that odd. If somebody kidnapped somebody or somebody got hurt because of somebody else, why would you alone get your ass up, go into the woods, and walk around at like 3 a.m. looking for the perpetrator? It doesn't make sense. There is actual video of Jody Sue in her white nightgown like a fucking ghost walking around the property in the middle of the fucking night. Pictures of it. It is fucking weird as shit, in my opinion. It is why I don't trust Jody.
That's how she was. It was like, whoa, dude, I am sorry. She was just, and the same thing with the whole Andy's real estate, stuff. That's just a hateful thing about her. I mean, Andy had like no interest in it. She just wanted something to go on about. I don't know.
It was the whole family's interest. They were all fighting for that land, including the mother and father of Andy Bernard, as they showed up mad as fuck, and Uncle John mad as fuck because Dobbs was entering his own fucking land.
If it was Facebook or YouTube then, but she had like a few months where she would like stalk Andy and like find him at Waffle House and the gas station and things like that, and just go on and on and on like about him because he wouldn't come home.
Okay, someone said the pics she posted saying DV injuries were actually from a car accident.
Do you remember me telling you that like a long time ago?
Yep. I remember you telling me that a long time ago.
Reservoir Road, I think.
Jody came out with pictures from years and years prior when her hair was real short and shaved in the back, with all kinds of cuts and marks all over her face and cuts on her head, and she tried to blame Andy for doing that. Chicken on a Stick came out and said, no, that's from a fucking car accident Jody had. Those pictures are not from Andy. I'm not saying Andy didn't abuse Jody. He definitely did. I see it. However, he did not cause the harm to Jody in those pictures that Jody put out. Those were from a car accident. And Jody also lived a risque life. She was a stripper. She worked in stripper clubs. She wasn't exactly the safest fucking human.
Oh, so those pictures was actually from a wreck?
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, she never had no claim to nothing because, like, it's not like they had a house there or, and I mean, when her cabin was removed, from the property or whatever, or they were trying to charge the mother-in-law. The mother-in-law was like, you all didn't even ask me to put this here, that was her. But, and they had it removed. Yeah, and told one of the kids or something like that. And then I think after a while, like, she keeps telling the kids that and keeps telling the kids that, insisting it. And then they start saying it too, just like the scream. At first, there was no scream. Then she heard a scream. Then not only did she hear a scream, but her and her youngest or her eldest heard the scream. Because people, even at her brother's funeral, people was like, why don't you stop doing this? Like the charade, on YouTube or, wherever. When she even has those kids go and beg, Andy's people for money, trying to get money for different things and like keeping the car, that was a big deal.
It should have been a big deal. She should be begging for money for her children. Andy's not paying child support or supporting his kids. You have children, Amanda. If your husband wasn't supporting your children and you were poor like the rest of your fucking family before your husband fucking married you and gave you money, you would be upset too. I think any fucking mother whose father isn't paying for his children would be fucking pissed. So I'm going to agree with Jody when it comes to the car and begging the parents and Andy for money. He was stealing stimulus money from her. He stole all the government money during COVID, after COVID, when Summer went missing. He took it all and gave her nothing for his own children. Instead, he married another woman named Rebecca and fed her children. I would beat his fucking ass. Sorry. Yeah, could be. They were searching for him. Yup. All right, guys. I didn't finish. I didn't even touch on Conversation 4, but I only have so many hours on StreamYard, and I want to come back because I'm unable to pay my StreamYard right now. I don't know when I'll be able to pay it, but I want to try to have some hours left for tomorrow. I don't even know that I do. So I'm going to try to come back tomorrow and cover the rest of part 4 with Jody. But I'm done for the day. I hope I was able to get some information out to you so that you can hear it. And I will be back with part 4 soon. All right, guys. Pez Amore, peace and love. Thank you for joining me today. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Give the video a thumbs up and a share. Bye.